we're back with a bang. 6 years deep, yeah, we know what to bring. Whispers and shadows, they call our name. We hunt in the dark, we play the game. Ghosts in the crypts, feel the chill. What goes bump, we're hunting still. The night crew's here, ready to spill. Ready for the fright, yeah, we're the thrill. We've been in the dark for so long. What goes bump in the night, we belong. Creepy, cryptic, feel the song. Night's alive and we're strong, strong, strong. 6 years in the dark, we light the way. Ghosts and shadows come out and play. Creeps in the crypt won't fade away. The night crew's here and we slay the day. It's a haunted vibe. What goes bump, feel the thrill collide. Riley and Trevor, we're high on the ride. High strangeness in the sky, let's glide. Feel it, hit it deep like a phantom sound. Crashing through the crypt, we own this ground. Darkness alive, we're breaking it down. The night crew's back, we're running this town. Stepping through the graveyard, energy so high. Creeping through the night, don't blink, don't try. A flash of the unknown, we're never shy. Riley and Trevor, we're reaching the sky. The haunch has begun, hear the beat. In the silence, we own the street. Crypts are alive, so cold and deep, but we'll find the truth no matter how steep. We've been in the dark for so long. What goes bump in the night, we belong. Creepy, cryptic, feel the song. Night's alive and we're strong, strong, strong. 6 years in the dark, we light the way. Ghosts and shadows come out and play. Creeps in the crypt won't fade away. The night crew's here and we slay the day.
Hello and welcome to What Goes Bump Tonight.
Your life after death. Yes.
Oh, what? Ooh, what the? Oh my god, am I still moving right now?
Why should we be afraid of you?
Hello and welcome to What Goes Bump Tonight. My name is Riley Clark, and alongside me, as always, is
Trevor Jensen.
And today is a very, very, very special episode.
Indeed.
It's more about you guys, more about us, and our relationship for the last 6 years, which this has been crazy.
It's been a long time.
An idea that started in a body shop.
Yeah, literally.
To what it's become now. The community has grown so much over the past 6 years.
Indeed, it has.
Absolutely crazy to see what it has become. Like, sometimes you can get lost in numbers, right? But we try not to do that. We try to see the support that we get every time we do go live or release something. And you guys are right there, always ready to support us. And we love you for that, Night Crew.
It gets me fucking emotional. I ain't gonna lie. I talk about it quite frequently. Riley understands. Most definitely. You guys are the best. This is why we do it. It's fun for us, but also like, damn, you guys, you're the best.
Yeah, and we see you in the chat, Jess, Creepy, Confidential, those dweebs, who we have a video coming out with on Saturday. So make sure you're there because it's also Trevor's birthday. So we'll be celebrating his birthday in the chat and watching this crazy investigation with those dweebs at the poorhouse. So see you there Saturday at 8.
I'm going to be 30. Wish me luck.
Good luck.
Thankfully.
Big 3-0.
Crazy. Time flies. But 6 years, like we can't downplay that whatsoever. Like think about from the beginning, dog. Like we literally were just talking about this where it's like, dude, I believe in aliens. What do you think? Literally how it started though.
And then we were like, man, dude, what if we just turn this into a podcast? And then we actually released our first episode on January 13th of 2019. That was like, I don't even, honestly, we stopped keeping track of episode numbers at this point, but we're obviously well over 200.
We're also keeping pace for a lot faster of a milestone than I thought we were going to achieve this year, but hells yeah, it's because I love you guys and it's so fun to do.
Yeah, and if you didn't know, Trevor has literally been grinding podcast material for all of you like all summer long. I kind of slacked in that department, but Trevor kept busy and released tons and tons
Our
of
resident advertiser / promoter. I can't thank you enough for doing all that, dog. That is the least I can do. So once again, thank you. 6 years of absolute fun has been had for sure.
Yeah, and with the new year, we brought a new, design for the brand. So we do have new merch out, and with the new logos and all of that new art. So if you guys would like to support us that way, links should be in the description. I think
Should
they're
be.
down there.
I don't know.
If
Maybe
they're not. They will be later.
they'll be in something.
But today's topic, let's jump into that.
Very, very interesting topic indeed, sir.
Yes. So the mysteries of the Great Lakes. We thought would be a great topic for tonight because the Great
We're
Lakes.
getting beat up by the snow machine that is the Great Lake right now.
Yeah, we are getting pummeled by the Great Lakes snow effect right now. And obviously the lake, being from Michigan, it's a part of our lives. Like, we're so connected to the lake. It's crazy that we have Lake Michigan, that one of the largest bodies of fresh water in the world.
It is incredible.
Right there at our fingertips is wild that we can go to a beach that looks like you're at an ocean all summer long.
And it's the softest sand you'll ever walk in. It's the cleanest water you'll probably swim in a long time. And I mean, you go to Sleeping Bear Dunes and you see like just the vastness that is Lake Michigan. It's like, wow, this is something to behold.
Yes. And shout out those dweebs. Very deadly. Like tons.
Very much so.
I don't even
We're
want to
touch on
say
that.
the number, but like Lake Michigan claims a lot of lives every year.
Very much so. I would even say like on a very regular basis still.
Probably more than sharks.
That's the thing, dude. Okay, for everybody who doesn't understand Lake Michigan either, yes, it is a lake. It is a freshwater lake, but we still get rip currents because of the way that just the water moves and how big and vast that body of water actually is. It is actually deeper than everybody actually thinks it is too. Like, there is no way you'll find a ship at the bottom of that ocean. That ocean, it basically is in some parts.
They basically are inland seas, as they're known as.
But yeah, I mean, shoot, dude, like growing up on the rivers and on Lake Michigan, though, I hold a very, very strong connection with the water out there. Like, I was a water bug. I know you were for sure.
Yeah. I've spent my whole life on the Grand River, which is a tributary to Lake Michigan. Like, literally grew up at a house on the water. That's what I mean by that.
And
And
we still frequent the houses on the water, and we still be on the bayous all the time.
yeah. And I'm not talking a boathouse, if that's what you're thinking.
We are money bags. No, not by any means. But I think this is a good point where we can segue into what the first topic. Let me move all my screens around really quick because this is a lot. But we'll start with some shipwrecks and some legends that are associated with it. And we will just dive on in, fam. So, the Great Lakes, Superior, Michigan, Huron, Erie, and Ontario, are collectively known as the Island Seas, with over 6,000 documented shipwrecks. They have been the setting for some of the most mysterious and tragic maritime disasters in history. Our first one tonight was the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. I know Riley knows about this one quite well. This happened on Lake Superior.
This is the ship.
That be the ship. That be the ship. But I mean, like, let's just like take a second. Lake Michigan, tiny inland lake, huh? And it ate that whole ship. Interesting.
Superior ate that ship.
Yeah, Lake Superior is vast and mighty. So this was on November 10th, 1975. This massive 729-foot freighter was carrying 26,000 tons of iron ore pellets, not pallets. When it encountered a fierce storm, the hurricane-force winds and waves over 30 feet high, earning November 10th, 1975, the moniker, the day the Edmund Fitzgerald died. That's a fucking big ass ship to be fucking sloshed around in 30-foot waves, if you don't say so myself. So, the ship disappeared suddenly in Canadian waters near Whitefish Bay, without sending a distress call. Investigations suggest multiple possible causes: structural weakness in the ship's hull, exacerbated by the storm, damage from striking shoals, or the ship being overwhelmed by rogue waves known as Three Sisters. The ship's demise remains shrouded in mystery despite advanced sonar exploration. The wreck site 530 feet below the surface. That's a lot.
Dude.
That's a fucking lot. Moreover, mariners and divers near the site often recount eerie phenomena, such as an inexplicable sense of despair. Oh shit. That's even more eerie. Like that, does that not just invoke despair? Like, let's be realistic with that one.
That's pretty spooky.
That's eerie as shit.
That's so spooky.
So, with the feelings of despair, mysterious sounds resembling a ship's bell, and phantom voices echoing across the waves. That's eerie as shit in its own right, too. So the legends are, many divers report feeling an oppressive sense of dread near the wreck site, which was 530 feet below the surface. They hear the voices calling for help or the mournful toll of a ship's bell. Others describe the inexplicable equipment malfunctions or even feeling an invisible pull as they descend toward the wreck. Fishermen in the area have also reported seeing ghostly apparitions of a freighter appearing briefly in the mist before vanishing as well. Underwater lights defy explanation. These accounts contribute to the enduring sense of mystery and reverence surrounding the Edmund Fitzgerald. That's fucking spooky ooky, dog.
It is pretty spooky.
Like, just imagine though, you're just out on Lake Michigan. And then, because we live on Lake Michigan, not Superior. Superior in its own right is its own whale and crazy.
That is an animal of a lake.
Yeah, like when they say hurricane force winds, like those are barren winds coming straight from the Straits of Canada. Like, no joke, it is brutal. But I don't know how I would react if I was on a boat where I'm like, there's no land around, right? And all of a sudden you have the voices and the bell toll and there's just nothing. And you're in like the thick fog. It sounds like an experience I would actually enjoy, but also like that sounds scary, dude.
I can tell you, being seasick on the Great Lakes is a real thing.
I haven't been on the big lake since I was very young. Like, not out on a boat, at least. Like, I went on the ferry across, and that I didn't get sick. So, like, knock on wood, that doesn't happen. But, like, shoot.
Yeah, Superior is cold always.
Cold and always. All right. What we got next, dog?
We have the Griffin. This happened in 1679. That's all we know. We don't have a specific date.
It went down, though.
Built by French explorer René Robert Cavelier, Sieur de la Salle. That's the best you got for me in a Frenchness.
Hold on. René Robert Cavelier. Was that good enough?
The Griffin was the first European vessel to sail the Great Lakes, constructed in 1679 near Niagara Falls. The ship was designed to navigate the treacherous waters of the Great Lakes and expand trade in the region. So even back then, they were like, this lake is the devil.
Devil. Don't go there. But we need to go there.
Yeah. We need to cross that lake, whatever it
Money.
takes.
It's either we get our goods or
They have
we starve in the
beavers
winter.
across. They have beavers over there.
They got the beavers.
Okay.
Oh, Lord. All right, so let's rumble.
Little history trade joke right there. It vanished on its maiden voyage with a valuable cargo of furs, beavers, probably,
pelts, all sorts.
disappearing somewhere between Green Bay and Niagara. Despite numerous expeditions, the wreck has never been conclusively identified, fueling speculation about its fate. Some theories suggest it fell victim to treacherous weather, sabotage by rival traders, or even a mutiny among the crew. Others believe the Griffin was deliberately scuttled to hide evidence of La Salle's continuous dealings with local tribes. This enigma remains one of the Great Lakes' most enduring maritime mysteries, and each year brings fresh attempts to locate this legendary shipwreck.
Oh,
So I don't believe we know exactly where it went down. We just know that it did.
I mean, still makes it as ominous as ever. The thing is with like water, I am so sorry. Water is a conductive material in its own right. I think spiritual energy 100% gets exacerbated with water.
It might amplify it.
I mean, what else do you know, like, could it explain? Like, we go out to these cemeteries and we get a ton of experiences and stuff, right? It's supposed to be a thunderstorm, but we get heat lightning. It's probably high moisture content.
Don't
We're
forget,
by water.
it's right on the Lake Michigan.
You know exactly what I'm talking about with Mouth Cemetery.
Yeah. Well, and then there's Riverside Cemetery that has a
Mhm.
river right next to it. There's Lake Forest Cemetery that has a
With
lake next
water
to it.
right there too.
I mean, we'll get to some more cemeteries later that are on the lakes, but
It makes it that much more focused, I feel like. You know what I mean? Like the energy feels a lot more fluid. And I know that's a funny statement to make when we're talking about water, but it really does feel more like it comes and goes as it pleases instead of it being like this is residual. Or like when we go to like say Ohio, where it's a lot more landlocked. It feels different when we investigate down there. Like, does it not to you? In senses, in ways, I guess you could say too, for sure.
But let's talk about the legend of the Griffin. Is said to carry a powerful curse stemming from La Salle's betrayal of local tribes and alleged discretion of sacred lands in their quest for wealth and glory. Local lore tells this ship's ghostly apparition, often described as a spectral vessel with glowing masks, seen drifting silently across the surface of Lake Michigan on moonlit nights. I haven't witnessed this. I don't think it happened by us. Some witnessed to claim to hear the eerie sound of creaking wood and faint voices calling out as though the crew is still aboard, forever lost in their ill-fated voyage. Others believe the Griffin's curse influences the lake's volatile weather and storms, forming unexpectedly in areas tied to its legend. The curse was also said to bring misfortune to those who attempt to locate or disturb the ship's resting place.
Interesting. This is why we don't know where it went down. It's just somewhere out there.
It's a mystery, and it will probably forever be a mystery.
How do you feel about curses?
Dude, I don't know. When it comes to like a pirate's curse or something, like,
Dude,
this shit kind of holds a little weight to me. I ain't gonna lie.
I know what you mean, dude. Like, I really wonder because I go back and forth a lot of times where it's like, like I think you can honestly curse people. Like karmatic energy is real. So like in a way, like you can curse yourself, but like
And
a fucking golden pirate dollar.
we talked about this type of thing before. It's just like Slender Man.
Oh, that's true too.
Talk-
Yeah, Slender
if-
Man is a really good example of that
If
because
so
they
many
made it
people like
real.
talk about something, do they not make it real?
I mean, those
so many people
those
believe it.
little girls like stabbed that other little girl because they thought Slender Man was going to get them. He was made up. There are like renditions of this like being from Germany that would like sneak in your window and steal your kids, but like that was not the same thing as what they were depicting in these like videos and memes and stuff. And oh my god, it might be real now. Intention is most definitely everything.
So do we have any more shipwrecks to talk about?
Well, do you remember not that long ago they found that wooden shipwreck on the coast here in Muskegon? I don't know what boat it was, but it was also an old maritime ship, probably of that era.
I remember. Yeah. Yeah,
Like-
they found the frame. I remember.
Yeah,
seeing
it was just
live.
the booty butt frame of it, and it's like that's still so fucking wild that we probably walked up and down on that as kids all the time and had no idea it was there
No
until
idea.
like
There could be so many secrets hidden in the dunes if you think about it, because it's just moved Earth. Like, what's under there?
100%. That's the other crazy thing, dude. It could be literally anything. But is there any more to add to that? Do you have anything to add to that?
Not really. That's an interesting one. Other than that, that's an interesting shipwreck.
I've never even heard of that one, to be honest with you, and I actually really like that. So, on to the next. We have now the SS Eastland disaster. I don't even know what this one is. So, July 24th, 1915. While docked in the Chicago River and preparing to transport Western Electric employees and their families to a company picnic, the Eastland rolled over on its side in a matter of seconds, trapping and drowning 844 people. Oh, fuck, this got heavy, including entire families. Trigger warning. I should have said trigger warning.
Trigger warning.
The ship had been overcrowded with nearly 2,500 passengers on board, and its stability was compromised by modifications to, to comply with safety regulations enacted after the Titanic disaster. These changes included adding lifeboats and rafts, which ironically made the ship top heavy. The Eastland's design flaws, including a shallow draft and a poorly placed ballast, exacerbated the instability. Despite warnings about its unsafe structure in the years leading up to the disaster, the ship continued to operate, setting the stage for one of the most deadly maritime accidents in American history. I didn't realize that happened over here on the Chicago River either. The tragedy left a lasting scar on Chicago's history, with subsequent investigations highlighting systemic failures in regulation and oversight. Now we'll move into some more of the haunting side of things. So, the site of the disaster is said to be haunted by shadowy figures, often described as words are hard, indistinct forms moving near the water's edge, and the chilling sound of phantom screams echoing through the area. Particularly on a quiet night, the buildings that once stored the recovered bodies, now a Chicago office building, is also reported to have extensive paranormal activity. So I'm gonna pause there for a second. In Grand Haven, where it is a, what is it, like a 15-minute drive for me and like 5-minute drive for you?
Yeah, pretty much.
It is a very close to our hometown. It's actually pretty much where Riley spent most of his childhood.
Truth.
But there was also a pretty gnarly boating accident where a boat went down out offshore, and they had to store a lot of the bodies in some of the buildings here in what we would call main square of Grand Haven, pretty much.
Yeah, it's downtown on Washington Street.
Yeah. It's like,
it was the train depot, right?
Yes, I was gonna say, I think it's the train depot, and like some of the building stuff is still there. And I wouldn't even doubt that if we went out there one night and just investigated around the area, we would probably get stuff, because the same thing, like a lot of bodies were stored there. Not only that, there were bodies that were dug up from unmarked graves from down the street.
Yeah, the original cemetery of Grand Haven was in Washington, like where town center is now, like the Central Park.
Yeah. Buns is so pissed.
Yes, he wants to say hi, everyone.
He said, bring me on.
He's like, I'm a guest. Last 6 years, I've been a guest a few
Yeah,
times.
I've been a reoccurring theme here. He a good boy. He a good cat. So, employees and visitors claim to hear unexplained footsteps, muffled voices, and even faint cries. Objects are known to move on their own, lights flicker without cause, and some individuals report an overwhelming sense of sadness or dread when inside certain areas of the building. Paranormal investigators have documented temperature drops, electromagnetic anomalies, and even captured audio recordings of what some believe disembodied voices are of the past. Whoo! We should probably go check that place out. Dog. Straight up.
People of Chicago might not like us investigating that one. I don't know.
Maybe. Although we should look into like going to Chicago and investigating, or Detroit. I feel like it would be interesting to investigate in a city. Like that's one thing that we haven't
Big
done.
city.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like big city living. Although I don't really like big cities, I'm not gonna
Me
lie.
either. Not a big city guy.
Neither am I. I'll take my small suburb area.
All right. So this next one is the Lady Elgin.
Don't know this one
happened in-
either.
This is a Lake Michigan ship that went down September 8th, 1860. I'm getting all the old ones, super old
Mhm.
ones. The oh my god.
Okie dokie.
Luxurious
Lord.
passenger steamer, often described as one of the finest vessels of its time, collided with the schooner Augusta during a violent storm on Lake Michigan in the early hours of September 8th, 1860. Okay, before I go any further, got a quick boat story for you guys.
Oh, we got a boat story. We have a lot of those too, though. I'm not gonna lie.
So my family took, we used to have a 36-foot Sea Ray, and we took it from Grand Haven to Muskegon, which is like hour, maybe a little bit hour long boat ride up Lake Michigan. And we had it docked there for like the weekend for bike time. On Sunday, when we had to head home, it was a terrible storm with like 40 mile per hour winds and like
I
6-foot
remember this.
waves out on the lake. And on the way to Muskegon, we hit a tree that was floating in the lake, and it took out one of our engines. So we had to go back in this storm on one engine.
Oof.
Yeah, and it was terrible.
How long did
Terrible.
it take you again?
I don't even know.
I think honestly, I
even
think you texted me when you left, and you were like, "We're fucked," and I was like, "What?" And then I think you like didn't text me for like another 6 or 7 hours, and you're like, "We made it."
It was like an all day
what the
thing.
fuck?
I can tell you that. It was an all day thing. We weren't moving any faster than the waves were moving forward. I swear.
You
to God.
might have been able to paddle with that thing a little faster.
It was bad. Anyways, I thought we were going to be the Lady Elgin, is what I'm saying here.
You are a Lady Elgin.
All right. The Lady Elgin was carrying over 400 passengers, many of whom were members of the Milwaukee Union Guard on a fundraising excursion. The collision occurred when the Augusta, a smaller wooden schooner, how do you say that? Schooner?
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 Oh, schooner. It's a schooner.
Schooner.
I'm sorry. It's a schooner.
Schooner struck the Lady
Little
Elgin
do
on
we
its
know.
port side, creating a massive hole in the steamer's hull. Despite attempts to plug the breach, the Lady Elgin broke apart and sank within 30 minutes, plunging passengers into the icy waters. Yeah, September 8th, that was probably cold as shit.
Oh boy, hell no, I won't go.
Over 300 lives were lost, with many victims succumbing to hypothermia or drowning in the frigid lake. Survivors clung to debris for hours after being rescued. The disaster shocked the nation and led to calls for improved maritime safety regulations. Today, the wreck of the Lady Elgin remains a protected site and a poignant reminder of the dangers of Great Lakes travels.
So, what's up with this though? Like, I know this is like not a wild statement at all, but like, it's mass life loss. Do you think that has to do with residual energy as well? Like when it's something like that, where it's like a lot of lives are extinguished.
That's traumatic. That sounds like
It's
it was
extremely
traumatic. 30 minutes? That's so quick.
well, dude.
Think about like an entire
That's cold
like
water.
it's a steamer, so it was a big freaking boat. Those are the ones with the big wheels. If you don't
Oh
know.
yeah,
It was basically like a poker ferry.
yeah, a poker ferry. I like
It was a
that.
giant poker.
A gambling riverboat.
It was a riverboat,
They're
basically.
a riverboat. God
They're
damn
like,
it,
let's
that was
take
good.
this giant riverboat out during a storm. That's terrible. I shouldn't have said that. Anyways,
Anywho,
the legends say survivors of Lady Elgin's disaster recounted chilling preemptions of impending doom, such as vivid dreams and unshakable sense of foreboding before the voyage. Oh, that's interesting. That people that were on the ship didn't even want to go, and they were having dreams beforehand. That's wild.
that's what I'm saying. Premonitions are real. Like you have to pay attention to them.
You do. In the aftermath, stories emerge of ghostly phenomena during the site of the sinking. Local fishermen and visitors have reported hearing haunted melodies resembling the 19th century drifting over the water as the ship's orchestra continues. What is this, the fucking Titanic?
Dude, no. That's actually so funny because I thought I was triggered by the Titanic. So fucking perfect.
Violins were playing. Isn't that the Titanic?
Pretty much, yeah.
So
I mean,
we're
it's
hearing
very
the
reminiscent.
Titanic. Okay. Some have claimed to hear faint voices and sobbing late at night. And yeah, just your typical ghost stuff.
Just your typical ghost stuff.
Pretty much it on that. I don't
So,
know.
I mean, once again, we have another very enigmatic, interesting, like there's definitely something happening out there. Like people still to this day will talk about this stuff and seeing this stuff. Like the lake keepers and whatnot. Like if you talk to them, they'll all have ghost stories. It's wild. I'm so
The
sorry.
water's a creepy place, man, because like it can, for one, I think waves and everything, do they mess with your mind?
It's that lapping sound. Like the
And the
rhythm.
constant like
Yeah, getting churned all
rocking
the
back
time
and
too.
forth.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know if you haven't been seasick before and it's your first time going out on a boat that it might be kind of rocky out there. I'm telling you, take the little seasick pill, man. You will feel so much better. Take it before you go, though.
Take that Zolfran. Get
Whatever
that
it's
shit
called.
in you. I don't know what it is. It's like Dramamine or something like that. I think is what's
Yeah,
called.
that's it. That's it.
I think it's Dramamine.
Not
I've never
dopamine.
had to take it. Like, thank God. knock on
Dopamine's
wood.
natural.
It's all natural. So next, we have another ghost schooner. This one is from the South Manitou Island. Here, hold on. Let me switch my screens around. This is going to get annoying. The South Manitou Island has long been a source of ghostly intrigue among fishermen and locals who ply the waters of Lake Michigan. Chief among the tales is the story of phantom schooner that appears to drift silently near the island. Often shrouded in a ghostly mist, the vessel described as a 19th century lumber schooner with tattered sails and a skeletal crew barely visible in the fog, is believed to be the spectral remnant of a ship lost in a sudden violent storm over a century ago. The legend has it that the ship was bound for Chicago, heavily laden with timber from Michigan's dense northern forests. Pause there. Literally where we live, the main thing that was, who is it? Charles Hackley and what's the other guy? Hume, his last name?
Yeah.
Hackley Hume? Well, the Hackley and Hume homes. The people that founded this town were lumber barons. That's what
Yes.
they did here. Like on the river, all they did was just transport that lumber.
Basically,
up and down.
all of this side of the state, a lot of the towns were lumber towns, especially if they have like a little. So like we got multiple little lakes that are off of Lake Michigan. Almost all the towns going north started with some type of lumber business, really.
Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting when you actually look into
Especially
it.
like after like the Chicago fire, because
I was just gonna say, and after the fire, we were shipping shit tons of wood out there. Which I mean,
like,
it burnt
there's
down.
pictures. I could probably find a picture of what it was like.
Dude, like there's when I go to the museums around here, like the one in Grand Haven is actually a particularly good one because they have a whole exhibit where you can see how large the blades were that they used, and they're as big as I am, and I'm 6'1", and they're cutting full timber in strips, like, and just doing all of the work there in their lumber yards. And this was back in like what, early 1900s, late 1800s. And then to see how they transported the wood down the river, walking across all the logs, and if you got turned underneath one, you're dead. Like there's no getting out from under it. It's fucking crazy. I like how chat said I won't trust as a mermaid with a mermaid tail. Bet. It's 6 years. It's an anniversary. We gotta do something special. But I am not going in Lake Michigan right now.
Okay. So just so you guys can see, sorry, it took me a minute to get one to work.
No, you go. We talking about mermaid tails for a second.
So like this is the Grand River. Back in the day, you can see all the logs. Like they would push them and float them down out into the lake, and then float
like
them all the way to Chicago.
People had to walk across these lumber, like I would even call them fucking like islands at that point, because they're so thick and like together that they had to take sticks and basically push them out to get them away from where they needed them to go, or like get them unstuck from things.
Yeah,
Dangerous job.
Lumber rafts that they use to like corral the wood.
That's fucking crazy.
It's like a giant barge, basically.
So that's nugget
It's
history.
like, but yeah, look at it. This is hand, like this is
It's
how
all
long
hand
it
done.
was. These are oars. Like that's crazy.
Oh god, that is crazy. Nope, no thanks. Nope.
Two guys are moving that thing. That's nuts. All right. As you can tell, we are history nerds.
It's fun. So, when the storm struck, the crew fought desperately. If I can, what the fuck? Come on. Okay, there we go. Against this gale, but their efforts were in vain. As the schooner took on water, its distress signals were swallowed by the roar of the wind and waves. The ship and her crew vanished beneath the surface, leaving behind no trace but a haunting presence. To this day, mariners recount spine-chilling encounters, eerie lights flickering in the distance, an unethereal glow outlining the phantom ship, or the mournful toll of a bell with no vessel. Some claim to hear faint cries for help carried on the wind, or feel an inexplicable chill when the schooner appears. Many avoid the area altogether, fearing an encounter with the doomed vessel, lest they fall victim to the island's haunting legacy. I'm not jumping in Lake Michigan right now, fam. It is way too cold for that shit.
If we get 1,000 subs before it warms up, we'll both do a polar plunge.
Yep. All right. I'll adhere to that.
1,000 subs for polar plunge. Get us there. And yeah.
And then it's a cold plunge. Although I'm going in ankle deep water and just face planting. I'm not going out to where I have to get pulled out. Because if you got to pull me out of that water, I'm not going deep.
Today wouldn't be a good day to do it. You know, not that I'm finding like a way out or an excuse that we can't do it right now.
The winds are really bad right now.
It's like literally a blizzard out there right now.
That'd be a fun run back. 1K equals polar plunge.
You heard it.
Yeah, it does. Oh, hell yeah. So the next one is some of my favorite. Riley, do you want to read this one?
Yeah, but before you do that, you should like and subscribe.
Yeah, hit that bell. You know, Riley made that. He made that nice little clip. In DaVinci Resolve, because we had to switch because CapCut did the whole like Houdini bullshit, and now it's back. But like DaVinci Resolve is awesome, and I'm really proud of that. That looks really cool. That took a lot of work.
Yeah, it did actually.
Thanks, guys.
All right, so we're gonna kind of change the subject from ghost ships. We've covered enough ghost ships. We've spent 30 minutes on them. I think we covered a lot of them.
Yeah, well, the most mainstay ones that you could probably go to anywhere around these parts, and people will probably have heard of at least one of these.
Yeah. The next thing is they're spread all across the Great Lakes.
Yes,
They are the signal of life. They are the beacon of light. That is lighthouses.
That is lighthouses. What is Lighthouse? Lighthouse for 300.
I think lighthouses are awesome because
I
I think they are definitely are haunted, especially if you think about how lighthouses were someone's life. Like literally someone woke up every day, went and lit the lighthouse, and like they lived there, they took care of it. Yeah, they had to go and literally light it.
Physically, yeah, put a torch up there. Like, that's pretty wild.
Yeah. So the first one that we're going to talk about is the South Manitou Island Lighthouse. So staying in that general area.
Yep. I mean, that whole area is fucked up. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, it's probably won't be the last time we talk about this place. Perched dramatically on the island's eastern shore, is a striking reminder of the region's rich maritime history. First lit in 1871, the lighthouse once guided sailors through the treacherous waters, its beacon a lifeline in the darkness. However, the structure is not only a symbol of safety, but also a hotspot for ghostly activity. The most endearing legend centers around a former keeper who met his unlikely end under mysterious circumstances. Some say he fell from the tower while performing routine maintenance, while others whisper of a darker tale involving foul play or even suicide. Whoops, sorry, YouTube.
School slag.
Slipped out. Okay.
It's fine. You're fine. Don't worry.
Regardless of how he died, his restless spirit is said to linger within the lighthouse walls. Visitors to the historic site frequently report unexplained phenomenon, disembodied footsteps echoed up and down the spiral staircase, often accompanied by the faint creak of unseen doors opening and closing. Whispers in the empty halls leave tourists glancing nervously over their shoulder, while others describe an unmistakable smell of burning oil from lamps long extinguished. That like paranormal smell thing, I fully believe in.
Oh yeah, hold on. I got a good one actually. So this is the actual lighthouse back in the day when they were constructing it.
Welcome, Tara.
Hi, Tara. But yeah, no, literally.
That's cool. Actually, I like that.
Isn't that wild? But this is literally the lighthouse. It does look different now, but like, yeah, that's the lighthouse when they were constructing it. But like, that's the other thing though, is every lighthouse you go around here has that spiral staircase that goes up to the top. And no matter what, if you go there and you listen quietly and there's nobody else in there, I bet you'll hear the. I've heard it one time.
Dude, I want to investigate a lighthouse so bad.
So fucking bad.
Lighthouse would be so cool. All right. On particular quiet nights, the faint sound of a distant foghorn has been heard, despite there being no operational signal in the area. Some guests claim to have seen ghostly figures of a man in the lighthouse tower, peering out over the lake house as though they're still watching for ships in distress. Others have reported objects moving on their own, from tools in the keeper's quarters to heavy doors swinging open against no apparent breeze. The lighthouse has become a favorite destination for paranormal investigators who have recorded EMF readings and unexplained audio phenomenon. The chilling atmosphere of the lighthouse, combined with its tragedy history, makes it one of South Manitou Island's most compelling haunted locations.
We got to get in touch with them. It's in Leland, I think, which is what,
it's
2 hours? No, Leland's way farther. I'm dumb.
I think Leland's in the UP. Where is it?
What?
Where is it? Yeah. No, it is. Oh,
That's
it's in the Grand Traverse Bay.
Oh, is it? Oh, is it? Okay. See, but
Yeah.
Traverse City is another whale in itself, because there's also another investigation that I'd like to do out there in one of those hotels that's supposed to be haunted. But like, we are not getting the whole hotel to ourselves.
Yeah, Traverse
That's
City.
the
If
only
you've never been to Traverse City, Traverse area is a really cool area. It's super rich in history too.
it is super, super cool.
I haven't been out that way in years.
Neither have I. Well, you get to cross the Mackinac Bridge, which is the second largest suspension bridge in the U.S., and it's so fucking cool.
We did it randomly at 3 a.m. once. It was awesome.
Yep, and we went gambling. Oh, that was a wild trip.
All right.
So now we have Split Rock Lighthouse. So, perched atop a rugged cliff on the shores of Lake Superior. So once again, Lake Superior is, like we were saying earlier, is a beast. Split Rock Lighthouse is one of the most iconic, picturesque lighthouses in the U.S. It was constructed in 1910, following the catastrophic Mataafa storm of 1905. I've never heard of that, which claimed the lives of 36 sailors and wrecked 29 ships on the treacherous waters of the Great Lake. The storm exposed the dire need for reliable navigational aid to guide mariners through the region's often unforgiving weather and hidden shoals. At the time of its construction, the lighthouse was a feat of engineering. Its beam could be reached over 20 miles across the lake, piercing through the dense fog and stormy darkness. For decades, it served as a steadfast guardian of the shipping lanes and ensuring the safety of countless vessels carrying ore, lumber, and other cargo critical to the region's economy. The lighthouse was decommissioned in 1969, 69, rendered obsolete by modern technology and radar systems. Today, it operates as a historic site and museum, drawing visitors from around the world to learn about its storied past and take in the breathtaking views of Lake Superior. Yet, alongside its celebrated history lies a a much darker legacy, a reputation as one of the most haunted lighthouses in North America. Bum, bum, bum. So, the haunting tales of Split Rock Lighthouse are as enduring as the storms that once battered its rocky shores. Many believe that the ghost of sailors who perished in the 1905 storm and other victims of Lake Superior's infamous tempests still linger near the lighthouse, unable to find peace. One of the most frequently reported phenomena is the appearance of phantom lights. Visitors and park staff alike have witnessed eerie glowing orbs drifting across the water near the base of the cliff, where the remains of shipwrecks still rest beneath the waves. Some say these lights resemble lanterns, as though ghostly crew members are still searching for safe harbor. On rare occasions, these lights have been seen moving within the lighthouse itself, despite there being no operational lamp since its decommissioning. Disembodied voices are another common occurrence. Guests often report hearing muffled conversations or cries carried on the wind, though no one else is nearby. On still nights, the mournful sounds of a ship's whistle has been heard echoing across the water, even though no vessels are in sight. Perhaps the most unsettling of all is the sound of heavy footsteps ascending the spiral staircase inside the tower. These footsteps are slow and deliberate, as if a keeper is making his rounds to check the light. However, when visitors turn to look, the staircase is always empty. Some have even felt a cold, clammy hand brush against them as they ascend, only to find themselves alone.
Been there, done that.
Dude, I was thinking that. Also, I was thinking about your shirt getting pulled off too. Like, fuck is that?
Dude, I felt that. I felt the hand first, though. That's the thing. Is like,
yeah, like a tap, and then like
I felt the coldness on my hands.
Like how does one react? You know what I mean? Like, how are you supposed to react to that?
We'll try to keep pulling up the freaking Google Images stuff. That place looked freaking beautiful,
dude. It's immaculate. Like, damn.
Straight
That's
up.
what I'm saying.
That lighthouse looked crazy. The view from that place, damn.
And if we're hearing footsteps like that, I need to get in there. So, in one particularly chilling account, a visitor exploring the keeper's quarters reported seeing a man in an old-fashioned uniform standing at the window, staring out over the lake. When she approached to ask him a question, the figure simply vanished. Similar sightings of a ghostly figure in a period clothing have been reported by multiple guests and even staff members, leading to the credibility of the story. Paranormal investigators who have visited Split Rock. I'm thinking ghost because I want to go investigate this place so bad. But Split Rock Lighthouse, they've captured EVPs of faint voices, inexplicable sounds, and even low, mournful moans. Unexplained fluctuations in temperature and electromagnetic fields have also been documented, particularly near the base of the lighthouse and the keeper's quarters. Some believe the hauntings stem from the guilt and sorrow tied to the tragedies of the lake. The lighthouse, built to prevent further loss of life, may act as a beacon not just for the ships, but also for the spirits of those who were lost. Others suggest that the keepers who dedicated their lives to maintaining the light might still feel bound to their duties long after their deaths. Split Rock Lighthouse stands as a reminder of the power of nature and the fragility of human life. Its haunting beauty draws visitors by day, but as the sun sets and the darkness envelops the shoreline, its ghastly legend comes alive, leaving an indelible mark on all who visit. Because shit, that's actually pretty wild. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that just adds to me like more want to go investigate a lighthouse again.
Same. That one's hella far away though.
It might be, but did you hear that story? It's so good.
It's definitely got a good one.
Right? I mean, there's probably closer ones, but like still, that one is inexplicably pretty fucking crazy.
All right, this next tale is entitled "The Keeper Spirit." It's the Sool Choi Sool.
Seoul Choi Point
Choi?
Lighthouse. Oh
I
my
don't
god,
even
dude!
know.
I actually don't know.
There, we put it in the live chat.
So it that might be native tongue, and I can't say that. I
It looks
don't
like it's
know what it
French.
is. It could be French. Too. I
Located
have
on
no
the
idea.
northern shore of Lake Michigan, has earned a reputation as one of the most haunted places in the Great Lakes region. Its name, which translates
French.
from French to only choice, underscores its critical role in guiding ships through treacherous waters. Among its ghostly tales, the spirit of Captain Joseph Willie Townsend, a former keeper, stands out as the most enduring presence. Captain Townsend served as the lighthouse keeper in the early 20th century and was known for his dedication to maintaining the light, which saved countless mariners from peril. He also had a penchant for cigars, as is said to have spent many evenings on the grounds puffing away as he watched over the lake. Tragically, Townsend passed away within the lighthouse, and it seems his spirit has left the place he loved. Has never left the place he loved so dearly.
Oh, hold on, pause there. Does that not sound like the exact same thing as a William Robinson?
Yeah,
The town, dude. I can read that mind. I could see
it
the wheels turning.
sounds just like the White Lake White House.
Yeah, dude, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like the man did it for what, 60, 70 years?
Yeah, him and his wife just.
Yep. Just bravo. That's dedication and that's masterclass.
That's what we were talking about before we jumped into this topic. Is like people maintaining lighthouses. Like it was like their life.
It's a lifestyle. It's more than a job.
It is, because you're keeping people safe at the end of the day. Like if that light goes out, like a ship could run into a cliff.
Many did before they were there. So I mean,
think sometimes people that aren't like around Lake Michigan might forget that like there are cliffs not even Lake Michigan, but like all of the Great Lakes. There's cliffs, especially on the Canada side and whatnot. Like
sheer vast cliffs, like hundreds of feet tall.
Have you heard of Pictured Rocks? I've been there before, and it's crazy to see that.
Mm-hmm. Pictured Rocks are beautiful.
They are. Definitely recommend going. That is a 7th wonder of the world.
Yeah, 100%.
Or 20th wonder. I don't even know. It's up there.
There's so many now. Like we'll just say go see it.
One of the many wonders.
Quamanon Falls, another good one.
It's another one of those mysterious places.
Agreed.
There's a lighthouse there too that's been abandoned for years that is so creepy. So creepy.
Abandoned, you say?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Respectfully trespassing?
Visitors frequently reported the unmistakable smell of cigar smoke in and around the keeper's quarters, and even though smoking is strictly prohibited, the aroma is strongest in Townsend's former bedroom. Many believe it is his way of announcing his presence. Unexplained objects moving, including tools, books, and even heavy furniture. Sounds of footsteps can be heard throughout the tower, as if someone's climbing to check the light, similar to the other. Basically, all of the reports are very similar to all the other lighthouses. That's where we're getting with that.
If you didn't know, now you know.
And I mean, there's probably countless other lighthouses we could cover that are
So
on
many.
the lakes. You think about how much land is also touching those lakes. It's kind of crazy to think about.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's just one of those things where I think water, these locations, what they stand for as like a whole too, as being a beacon in the dying lights. Yeah. I think 100% in life and death, like they are also beacons for sure. In some way, shape, or form. Don't know what, but could be. But let's move back on the land. I think now is a good time to put our feet back in dirt.
Yeah.
I wish I could go outside right now so fucking bad and put my feet in actual solid dirt. There's like a foot and a half of snow. Not happening.
There's so much snow. So much.
When we say Lake Michigan is a snow machine, have fun. Go Google that.
I don't think we've seen the roads, like actual roads, in like 4 days now. The roads are just white.
Truths.
You can't even see where the road starts and ends. There's no lines.
Pick a lane. What fucking lane?
You just follow some tire tracks.
So I would do anything right now to be able to go and investigate some cemeteries. And that's what we're going to talk about now. So just a short distance from the lighthouse lies a small cemetery where several sailors and lighthouse workers are buried. This graveyard contributes significantly to the eerie atmosphere surrounding Choice Point.
No idea.
I struggle with that right there. The shoot, like the X.
Is it like so choice?
So choice? Is it like so choice? Sorry. Many believe the spirits of thous interred here linger, unable to rest due to harsh conditions and tragic circumstances of their deaths. Spectral lights are often seen hovering among the gravestones. We've seen that. Discovered as faint bluish glows, we've also seen red glows. I don't think it's like necessarily a color you need to pick. It just kind of fucking happens. If you know what I mean? Like we've seen green, we've seen bluish, we've seen red, we've seen orange. I mean, Tommy saw a whole ass fucking UFO, so
this is true.
But they seem to flicker like lanterns in the darkness. Now, Riley, I know you have a story of a lantern in the darkness.
I do, at a cemetery too.
Yeah, which once again, like this, it's not just coinky dinks. You know what I mean? Like this 100% is literally just going to show that this stuff happens all the time. People have these encounters and it's not weird. It's not taboo anymore. Like we can talk about it. You're safe here. So these are attributed to the restless souls of the sailors lost in the shipwrecks, forever searching for their way home. Some claim, to hear their moans or the voices carried on the wind. We also have heard wild noises while we've been in these exact areas. And it's just like, once again, dog, I think it's like the significance of a gravestone, not necessarily it being your place of rest necessarily either where you're tied to, but like it's that significance that brings people back or souls back. That like to me, that's what it feels like. And I know that's like kind of just super opinion. It is actually just
why
opinion.
do people go to someone's gravestone to talk to someone they know can't hear them?
Mm-hmm.
Because you want to believe that gravestone represents their life.
Yeah.
So like you're talking to that rock. They may have been your rock.
That's a very good point too.
I don't know. Sometimes these things, they got deeper meanings than what we think. You know what I mean? Like that's why I'll always think that there's something more after we pass away. I think there has to be. Whether we get stuck here, I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing or if it's
think we just shed this coil and we're just free being.
Or like the traces of energy we live behind, like
right,
live forever. I don't know. We don't have those answers, but that's why we look for them.
We investigate. So we have another lighthouse. Do you want to take this one or do you want me to keep going?
You can take this one if you'd like.
Okay. I will start here and then you can talk about the legend aspect of it all. So the haunted history of the old Presque Isle Lighthouse. Nestled on the shores of Lake Huron, a new one now for us, another great lake. The old Presque Isle Lighthouse is a picturesque yet eerie reminder of Lake Michigan's maritime past. Built in 1840, the lighthouse guided countless ships through the perilous waters of Presque Isle. This is a hard one to say, especially when you got some nose stuff going on. Though decommissioned in 1871 and replaced by a newer structure nearby, the old tower remains steeped in ghostly lore, drawing visitors and intrigued by its spectral reputation. I love that you can do like the Google, like move around and see everything. Like that is actually kind of a nice little.
We're actually there right now, everyone. We're there.
We are there.
Lighthouse.
Did you know we're investigating that right now by looking at it?
Look at that bell. That's crazy.
That is actually really cool. I'm not gonna lie. There's just something so cool about like historic waterfront properties, if you ask me. I don't know. It's very cool.
Like if you've never seen the Great Lakes, look at that. I know it's a little distorted, but
it's so pretty. That's also not a good picturesque of like what the shores look like because that is all rock.
Yeah. Well, Lake Michigan is really the only one that has the on our side that has the beach sand.
Yeah, the sandy beaches.
I think there are other ones, but we have.
I was gonna say I think there are actually like a few other beaches if you go like random little pockets, but some like the other big lakes over there.
I digress.
I digress. What sets the old Presque Lighthouse apart from the other haunted sites?
It knocks the wind out of you.
Yep. Listen, I'm getting over it. It's baffling, unexplained phenomena. Words are so fucking hard.
I swear we'll make it a shirt one day.
It's so hard. The lighthouse itself, although the tower has been without electricity for decades, witnesses have reported seeing the beacon flicker to life, shining brightly across the dark waters of Lake Huron. Mariners, locals, and even tourists claim to have seen the phantom light glowing, only for it to vanish moments later. Electrical experts have examined the site, finding no evidence of tampering or plausible explanation, adding to the mystery. Dun dun dun. Go ahead, dog. I'm going to die.
So, the legend of George Paris. Much of the lighthouse's paranormal activity is attributed to the spirit of George Paris, a former caretaker with a deep connection to the structure. In the mid-20th century, George and his wife relocated to the old Presque Isle Lighthouse when he took on the role of its caretaker. George fell in love with the historic building, spending hours restoring and preserving its weathered walls and weather-beaten tower. George's devotion to the lighthouse bordered on obsession. He often told his wife and visitors that he would never leave the lighthouse, even after his death. So he even stated, "I'm never leaving this mug.
I'm not fucking leaving.
Not fucking leaving." He often told his wife and visitors that he would never leave the lighthouse even after his death. Tragically, George passed away on the property in the 1970s, but many believed he stayed true to his word. The sightings began shortly after his death. Wow. Visitors climbing the tower reportedly hearing faint footsteps behind them, often to find no one there. Some claimed to feel a light touch on their shoulder as they ascended, as George himself was guiding them. His spirit is also linked to the mysterious light, which many say George has kept his eternal promise to watch over the lighthouse forever. Applaud it. I applaud all these lighthouse keepers. Like,
This is his
they were
wife.
so dedicated to their work. It's like inspiring, honestly.
I'm pretty sure this is George Paris and this is his wife. Yeah, Lauren Paris standing in front of the fireplace and above is George Paris. So that's, look at that beard though. He's got a triangle, just absolutely thick. That man knew what he was doing. He wanted to be a lighthouse tender for the whole entirety of his life, and he did a damn fine job.
He sure did.
Look at how happy his wife is too. That's adorable. Bravo, kudos. That's what I gotta say.
But I think that's a good point to wrap up the lighthouse talk. And I think we should move to something off the ground.
Oh, here we go.
Now
Y'all
we're going to get
like-
into the fun stuff, y'all.
Y'all like high strange?
We're going to get high strange on all of y'all right now.
We're gonna get real high strange.
Now gear up, look to the skies, because the Great Lakes are hella known for their UFO sightings or drones.
Ooh.
I don't know.
It's UFOs. UFO drones. I don't fucking know. We don't. Nobody told us. We aren't privy to this information. But yes, we are going to talk about some UFO sightings now that happened over the Great Lakes. There was one in particular that happened over Michigan on our side of the state, not
we'll get
terribly
to.
long ago.
That we will get to.
Yeah, I love these stories too. These
First thing
ones
we're
are
going to talk about is something we actually have never covered on the channel, which I'm really surprised we have it. And that's the Lake Michigan Triangle.
yeah, I don't know how we
Well,
have
if you
it.
didn't know, Michigan has its own Bermuda Triangle,
Yes,
a region
ma'am.
defined by the points of Button Harbor, Michigan. Sorry.
Benton Harbor. Benton Harlem. Sorry, Tommy said it. I couldn't unsay it.
Ludington, Michigan. Love Ludington. And Macatawa, Wisconsin. It has long been the subject of chilling legends and unexplained phenomenon. This triangular area has drawn comparisons to the infamous Bermuda Triangle for its history of mysterious disappearances, strange weather, and accounts of the bizarre. What happens? Yeah, I think time loss might even be part of this.
There's definitely time slips that happen over Lake Michigan.
I
People
know
tell
there's
us that all the
a
time.
bunch of shipwrecks.
Yeah, I'd say so. Sorry.
All right. Phenomenon in the triangle. Since the 19th century, the Lake Michigan Triangle has been associated with inexplainable occurrences. Ships have vanished without leaving a trace of wreckage. Aircrafts have disappeared under clear skies, and survivors of near misses often recount harrowing tales of sudden and violent storms erupting out of nowhere. One of the most famous shipwrecks tied to the triangle is the disappearance of Rouse Simmons, also known as the Christmas tree ship. I know Creepy was talking about this, I believe, earlier in the chat.
I think those dweebs were too. I mean,
They might have both been. In 1912, bound for Chicago with a cargo of Christmas trees, the vessel and its crew vanished during a routine voyage, although some wreckage was found years later. No conclusive evidence explained in the loss, fueling rumors of supernatural interference. Pilots traveling through the region have reported strange phenomena such as compasses spiraling erratically, GPS systems malfunctioning, and sudden intense disorientation. One seasoned aviator described flying through a clear sky only to encounter an unexplainable magnetic fog that caused his instruments to fail temporarily. The fog has arrived. I don't know. That's one of my favorite horror movies, I guess.
Yes.
I love the fog.
It's just it adds that extra layer of creep. Like I love that. It's that ambiance, dog.
Yeah. Fishermen and boaters often speak of odd occurrences, including sudden temperature drops, strange lights hovering over the water, and unexplainable whirlpools. Skeptics would say whirlpools are a natural phenomenon.
Of course they do. When don't they? I don't think they're always. I mean, it could definitely be attested to it, but
Can you imagine, dude? Honestly, water spouts are kind of terrifying.
So are UFOs. This was taken over Lake Michigan in 2020.
Interesting.
I'm just saying, like, just throwing that out there.
Aliens didn't vibe with the Christmas trees.
So they were sinking the Christmas tree ships,
Oh,
dog.
Tara's in Benton, Harlem right now. Not far
We're-
from us.
No, but seriously though, like, there is something very interesting
It's up
to think about,
305.
like the Michigan Triangle dealio. Like, what possibly could be happening when you go out into the middle of that triangle and then you start having all your equipment just start fucking helicoptering?
Dude, I mean, an experienced pilot probably be able to handle it, but it would actually be terrifying.
But like, what would cause that? You know what I mean? Like, what in God's green earth would be like that strong of an electrical malfunction?
Go.
Woo woo. Also, if you missed it, 1,000 subs, we're gonna jump in Lake Michigan.
Yep, that's the bet going on
Polar
because of this
plunge.
episode. And 6-year anniversary is if we get to 1,000 subs, we'll go polar plunge in Lake Michigan.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be cold. But like, realistically though, like, back to what we were talking about too, like, I don't think anything is gonna be that strong outside of like straight up like doxing. You know what I mean? Like, if our government is like somehow shooting some type of jamming software, or not software, but like signals through that
Like
space.
It's like, think about like how they've weaponized EMPs.
Yeah, literally, dude. What is it? You know what I mean? Like, it or hear me out
They
too.
basically are just shooting mass amounts of EMF waves at drones.
What
and
if
stuff. That's how they drop.
What if there's a base in the middle of Lake Michigan where it's actually an extraterrestrial base, and that's where we're getting all these like submerged like UFOs and all, like, what do they call them, like USOs?
Yeah.
Because then that would also make sense to why there's a ton of interference and why there's a shit ton of stuff happening in these, like, just these pockets. Doesn't make sense why it's just those pockets.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about one of the most bizarre pockets of alien encounter over Lake Michigan that happened very recently. And I believe, what show is it? Oh my God, Unsolved Mysteries.
Unsolved Mysteries, yeah.
Unsolved Mysteries actually did a
They just covered it
on this.
Yeah, the like the second to last season that just came out.
And also, your boys truly also released an episode on this, so you should go check that out.
Woo woo.
But we will touch on it here, but we have a more in-depth episode in the catalog. That's why you should go like and subscribe on all your favorite podcasting platforms.
Woo woo.
We'll plug this again.
We'll plug this again. Hell yeah. Yeah, if you can't tell, we have a lot of stuff to look at. I do enjoy that.
The incident we were talking about is the infamous 1994 UFO incident. Among the Triangle's most famous mysteries is the 1994 UFO incident, an event so extraordinary that it has become a cornerstone of Midwest UFO lore and research. Research. This is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Because this gets even, I don't know how in depth this goes, but if you go to our full in-depth one, it's actually crazy. Or if you go watch the Unsolved Mysteries on it too.
Oh, I could read it like the Unsolved Mysteries guy.
On the night of March 8th, 1994, over 300 people across Western Michigan reported seeing strange, brightly lit objects in the sky. Objects, plural.
Multiples, yes.
Witnesses included law enforcement officers, residents, and even a weather radar operator. This is very important. Lending credibility to the sightings. The objects were described as intensely bright lights that hovered in place, darted across the sky at incredible speeds, and appeared to change shape and direction instantaneously. Capabilities far beyond any known human technology. So, 1994, this is way before drones.
I was going to say,
way before drones.
I wasn't born yet. My parents saw this, though. Did your parents see it?
I think they did.
Yeah, my parents told me about it.
I think they did. My parents both have a UFO encounter when they were together, but
Yep.
they don't remember when it was. They
Yeah,
was
my
coming home
mom
from
and
a
dad
concert.
both told me about this exact night. They said they were sitting out on the back porch doing what they always did, just hanging out, and they just said they looked up and they just saw those lights, because they're where my parents live too is basically like close enough to the lake where you can get a vantage point of it. And they said they saw it just peek over the trees, and they just saw it hover there for a minute and then just start going. And they both were like, I've never seen anything like this at all. Like, how do we even take this?
We got a viewer.
I
That has seen it.
remember it. See?
Oh, that's crazy. That's
That's what I'm
crazy.
saying. Like this little like slice of heaven we got here, like is so wild, because like 300 people, if not more, only
It's probably
300 were
more.
documented. Tons more, I bet, have seen this. Like, I wasn't born yet, unfortunately. I wish I could have saw that.
Yeah. One notable witness, though, was Deputy Jeff Chamberlain of the Ottawa County Sheriff Department, was one of the law enforcement officers who saw the lights. According to his accounts, the objects were visible for extended periods, moving in ways that seemed to defy the laws of physics. The lights were said to split apart, rejoin, and vanish into the air before reappearing elsewhere in the sky. And Boa, I also, if you could, type in your experience. So I want to know about it.
Right. All right.
At least.
So I'll take over for here, sir. Give your vocal cords a rest, sir. You've done a fine job. The most intriguing aspect of the incident came from Jack Bushong, a weather radar operator for the National Weather Service. On radar, Bushong tracked several objects moving erratically over Lake Michigan. The objects would accelerate to astonishing speeds, stop suddenly, hover, and then dart off in another direction. Bushong described the movement as intelligent, suggesting a form of deliberate control. His radar readings confirmed what witnesses on the ground were seeing, yet no official explanation was ever given. Residents reported additional phenomena that night, such as animals behaving unusually and electronic devices malfunctioning. Several witnesses even claimed to hear a faint humming sound emanating from the lights. Whoo, doggy.
So obviously you can tell that they're moving.
Yeah,
right?
because they have the trail, because they're like like when they say astonishing speeds too. We have to also remember that in 1994, our jets could probably go like maybe Mach 1, Mach 2. Jets nowadays can do like Mach 3, 4, or 5 probably pretty easy. And like they can break the sound barrier like that. But like the way that they say astonishing speeds and then stop on a dime, that's what gets me.
We still can't even do that.
Physics specifically says no.
That can't happen. You would have to fly back the other way.
Yeah, you would like 100% like squish yourself.
What's the old saying? Every action has an opposite and equal reaction.
Newton's law. Because jet goes zoom and then you get squish.
What goes up must come down.
Literally.
So that's why they don't let us play lawn darts anymore.
You're so right, dude. That's why we can't take the bow out back and then shoot it up and then see who stands there longest. Because physics. So the Lake Michigan Triangle and the 1994 UFO incident have inspired a variety of theories. Here we go. Skeptics argue that a strange light and radar reading could have been caused by a misidentified aircraft. Of what kind, you say? Experimental military technology. Or a rare atmospheric phenomena like ball lightning or temperature inversions. See, that's so booty. A meteor shower. Yeah, how does a meteor shower change trajectory? That is such a good assessment there. Like, yeah, how the shit do that do?
Math ain't math then.
That math don't fucking math. That's very true. So, with explanations like that, we're going to let these skeptics win? No. However, these explanations fail to account for the consistency of witness reports and the advanced maneuvers observed. Henceforth, meteors don't change course.
Yeah. And I think one thing we didn't really touch on either is like what the weatherman seen on his radar is that he
Radar
was
was
actually
still new too.
yeah, and he was blipping these things on his radar, and then they would disappear and show up miles away in a second.
Mhm.
And like, there's
Unfathomable.
I bet you the footage is copyrighted, but we're not monetized, so we don't give a shit.
We gonna fucking run it. So
Um,
that's what I'm saying too, though, is like how in God's green earth does a craft we militarily technologized into existence to do any type of physics like that, but we still don't see that type of stuff on the battlefield or being implemented anywhere. Like, yeah, it might be top secret and super blacklisted, but if they were testing it in 1994, why wouldn't it be perfected by now?
yeah, it's not on YouTube, but I
It's
know
not
the
on
Unsolved Mysteries. The Unsolved Mysteries has the actual radar footage. I'm pretty sure, like they have the actual data.
I think they have the calls too. Like they have some actual like phone calls from people that were like, "Hey, how you guys seeing this?" the very Michigan Midwestern like nice people that we are, they're like, "So I'm just making sure everybody else is seeing this."
Yeah, I'm looking in the sky, and there's like lights that are going left to right, and then they're
That's really
disappearing.
there. I mean, we had the same type of experience when we both saw that. We like looked at each other and we're like, "You see that, right?" Like, I'm not telling you what I see, but I'm asking you, you see that? Confirmation's there when you go, "Yeah, point at it." What the hell? So, for believers, the 1994 UFO incident is compelling evidence of extraterrestrial activity. Hell fucking yeah, it is. The idea of alien visitors observing Lake S-class indeed. Observing Lake Michigan is bolstered by the region's history, mysterious sightings, and proximity to deep, cold water, a feature often linked to UFO lore. Some theorists suggest that the triangle might be a home to an underwater alien base, or a natural energy vortex that attracts UFOs and disrupts navigational equipment. Which, I mean, I do think that the second theory also does have some type of weight there. But realistically, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say aliens are cooler. I want an alien base.
I think, dude, what if aliens need water just as much as we do?
It is a resource, none the same. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just because
Great
they
Lakes
might not
is
breathe our
basically
oxygen.
an endless source of it. What's crazy too is
Yeah.
the Great Lakes used to be an ocean. Like Michigan used to be under an ocean.
That's true too. Yeah, we were 100% completely submerged. See, stuff like that too is so bizarre.
Yeah.
Also, thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Others speculate that the triangle's mystery stem from electrical magnetic anomalies beneath the lake bed, akin to the theory surrounding the Bermuda Triangle. This could explain the magnetic disturbances reported by pilots and the sudden storms that have swapped ships whole.
Them swallows. I mean, dude, like that is an interesting thought though, for sure. Like if there is some type of an energy vortex, just say like out in the middle of the triangle, and that is also another reason why we see a lot of UFO like happenings around here, which maybe that's not what everybody's seeing. Maybe everybody else is seeing a lot of drone activity from our military. Maybe that is what they see. But I would put a lot of stock in the thought of fresh water is a resource. It is the only type of water around here. The Great Lakes are the only freshwater bodies this large. And then the oceans are all saltwater. Like everybody pretty much knows that now. But why not freshwater if aliens need it also to live? It would make sense. They're not just going to come colonize us, but they would just come to just take what they need and go, or like pit stop.
Interesting. The King Cross incident is our next. I like how they keep calling them incidents.
They are though. Like I mean, like when you get phone calls to the police asking, you know, if this is happening, I would say that's an incident. It's a documented one at that.
On the cold evening of November 23rd, 1953, an event unfolded over Lake Superior that has puzzled aviation experts, military personnel, and UFO researchers for decades. Known as the King Cross incident, this unexplained disappearance of a U.S. Air Force jet has become one of the most compelling cases in UFO history. This is crazy.
This I didn't
whole
even know
fucking
this was
jet?
a thing.
A
It's
whole
like that-
fucking jet?
Well, it's like that Raptor that the pilot had to eject out of, but they have like legitimate like like straight up like Tesla drive, like it just drives yourself and it flew and landed itself. But like this is like primitive jet. This jet go vroom
So
and blow up.
The specific jet that it was an F-89 Scorpion.
Don't even know what that is. Hold on, I'll pull up a picture of it for you guys. Keep going, dog.
At 6:22 p.m., the Air Force Defense Command at King Cross Air Force Base in Michigan detected an unidentified object on radar near the U.S.-Canadian border over Lake Superior. I'm going to accidentally say Michigan so many times.
Oh, look at how ugly this plane is. It's so ugly. It looks like a mosquito.
Not our best looking jet.
But hold on, how the fuck does this disappear?
The object was moving erratically and did not respond to radio communication. Given the heightened tensions of the Cold War, the military feared it might be a Soviet aircraft testing U.S. defenses. An F-89 Scorpion jet, the state-of-the-art interceptor at the time, was scrambled to investigate. The aircraft was piloted by First Lieutenant Felix Moncla.
That's a fun name.
And Lieutenant Robert Wilson, serving as radar operator. The Scorpion climbed into darkening skies, guided by the radar operators who tracked its movements as it closed in on the unknown object. What happened next has baffled experts for decades. Radar operators watched as the signal of the F-89 approached the UFO. Suddenly, the two blips merged into one. For a moment, the combined signal lingered on the screen before vanishing entirely. Neither the Scorpion nor the unidentified object were ever seen again.
Damn. See what? Like, what is that? Okay. So there's another theory that we could boast here. Are we seeing not necessarily like that's Gilda, by the way. Yes, she's a handful. But are we seeing like not interplanetary, but like interdimensional, like extraterrestrial beings? Could that be why that plane disappeared? Also, I have no idea, but did you read these comments? It was the first radar interceptor and the first jet to shoot air-to-air nuclear missile. Like, holy shit, I thought that thing was ugly, but now I have so much more goddamn respect for that. Put some respect on his name.
All right, plane's way cooler than we thought.
Much cooler. I mean, planes in general are just really cool. I just usually go solely off of, man, that thing looks badass, or that thing is wild.
A search and rescue mission was launched immediately, but no trace of the F-89, its crew, or the mysterious object were ever found. The waters of Lake Superior were searched for weeks, but never even a piece of debris surfaced. The lack of wreckage only deepened the mystery, as the aircraft crashes typically leave behind some evidence of impact. Adding to the enigma, Canadian authorities reported no aircraft in the air at time, ruling out possibility that the Scorpion had been chasing a civilian or military plane. Despite an extensive investigation, the U.S. Air Force offered no conclusive explanation. They're just, can you imagine that press conference nowadays? So General, what happened to that plane? No fucking idea.
No comment.
No comment.
Next question. Do you want to discuss the phenomena that was just that? No comment.
Comment.
See the documents. We can do that in a skiff.
We'll talk about it in a skiff.
It's so fucking ridiculous. What is disclosure if you can't even disclose anything? God damn it! Like, what is that?
All right. We're not opening a can of rabbit holes, but
We gotta cap that for a second.
yeah, okay. Maybe we're in the wrong business.
And then dog shows up. Dog got jealous.
You want to take this one?
Yeah, where are we? I gotta find your click. Did I go too far? Hold on. I found it. The disappearance of the F-89 Scorpion has spawned numerous. Where the fuck did it go? Numerous theories ranging from the mundane to the extraordinary. Oh my gosh. One is a midair collision. One of the most common explanations is that the Scorpion collided with the unidentified object. However, if this were the case, some evidence such as wreckage or oil slicks should have been found. Critics of this theory, that's what I'm saying. Critics of this theory,
that one's out. That one's out instantly.
There's a complete lack of evidence. Like there's none. There's no debris. There's nothing at all. Like can't tell me that. Then the other one is pilot error or equipment failure.
No, because there would have been a plane. There still would have been a plane.
There still would be debris, and there would still be somebody telling us the plane went down around here. Like, come on.
Yeah, it disappeared off radar. What did they just shut their radar off? Like,
He said,
that doesn't make any
y'all
sense.
want to see me ghost ride the whip?
Yeah, they just ghost ride, never to be found again. Like, and somehow managed to stay off radar for every other. Like, what do they fly to the fucking moon?
I guess.
Actually, they might have. We don't know that.
I mean, I guess maybe. So the F-89 may have experienced a mechanical failure or pilot disorientation, causing it to crash into the lake. While plausible, this still fails to explain why the radar signals of the Scorpion and the UFO merged before disappearing. Moreover, such incidents typically leave behind evidence of a crash, which is entirely absent in this case. Can't stress that enough. Usually when stuff goes down or explodes, you get stuff. Also, like how does one merge their signals on the radar and then poof out of existence? Come on now.
Hey, it makes me think of like the Malaysia flight incident.
That too. That's another.
Like now that that thermal imaging came out,
yeah,
and like you can see it like it like get super hot and then just disappear. Like, come on, you're gonna tell me that plane didn't get sucked into some type of wormhole or abducted by something?
Nothing should gain heat unless there is a, like some type of force being exerted upon it. And if you're telling me it's not going through some type of physical metamorphosis at that point or change because it's generating heat, you're wrong. It's having some type of reaction with something. Like, I don't know what that would be yet, but
that could be a huge clue into what the aliens are doing, man. Heat. There's something to do with heat. Intense heat creates something.
It has to.
I believe that. I believe that like intense heat could make something happen, especially if it's like unfathomable amounts. Like think of like something as bright as the sun being just like
harvesting the energy that is like being like utilized by a star would be insane, dude. Like I couldn't even imagine like 1 molecule of it.
Yeah. And like
the gray ones do like our nuclear stuff.
That type of heat would be a light so bright. I don't even know how many lumens that would be, if that's even the correct term.
I think light is measured in lumens, but fucking I have no idea.
Anyways.
So for UFO researchers, the Kyrinos incident stands as a compelling evidence of extraterrestrial involvement and the purpose that the UFO may have intentionally abducted the Scorpion and its crew, either as an act of defense or an unknown purpose. The idea of merged radar signals supports this theory, suggesting that the UFO may have engulfed or absorbed the jet. That's still so fucking wild to wrap my brain around that. So proponents of this theory often point to the similar UFO cases where objects have been described as capable of instant acceleration, sudden decel or directional change, and complete disappearance behaviors consistent with the unknown craft in the Kyrinos incident. And then, government cover-ups are pretty rampant. So some theorists speculate.
I don't even know if we need to go into detail with that one.
I mean, I would say pretty much everybody knows that, like, paranoia, like, because of the Cold War. So, like, you really don't want, your adversaries at that point to know that you're weak or something has happened like that.
Right.
So
that was a bad time for something like that to happen for the U.S. government.
They saved face by not telling the the government saved face for them, themselves, basically not telling anybody about it. But also, like, you keep the public.
Yeah. Where did this super expensive aircraft that the U.S. government tax dollars paid for disappear
I don't know.
I don't know.
It was strategically relocated. That's really funny, though. So one of the most baffling ones that I've ever heard of and never heard of, too. Ooh, this next one in Marquette is nice because Marquette itself is just a beautiful place because it is a national forest still. And it is one of the only places around here you can go to a dark park and see the stars in its entirety.
You can see the northern lights up there.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Marquette UFO sighting. The silent watchers of the sky, nestled on the shores of Lake Superior, Marquette, Michigan, is known for its stunning natural beauty, rugged landscapes, and rich maritime history. But over the years, this picturesque city has also gained a reputation for being a hotspot of unidentified flying object activity. From glowing orbs dancing in the night sky to silent triangular crafts gliding over the dense forests, the Marquette UFO sightings have captured the attention of resident skeptics and UFO enthusiasts alike. Reports of strange aerial phenomenon in Marquette date back several decades, with a notable uptick in activity since the 1990s. Many locals recount seeing glowing orbs of lights hovering over Prescott Isle Park we've talked about before.
Yep. Haunted, but also UFO haunted.
Moving erratically before vanishing into the horizon. These lights, often described as having a pulsing glow, changing colors from white to red to blue, witnessing frequent reports that these orbs appear to exhibit intelligent behavior, moving in ways that suggest purposeful maneuvering rather than random motion. That's pretty in depth. Wow.
I mean, think about it too like this. No rotor wash, no discerning sound to say that it is a plane or a jet or anything. And the way that they describe the lights, it does sound like it's flashing like a plane, but no, what they mean is it's like a solid color and then it changes color and it stays that color for a while.
So I kind of seen something similar to this when I was with Mel in Austin and we were in our hotel room. We were going to Mackinac Island. So we're staying in Mackinac City the night before we went on the ferry early in the morning.
Yeah.
And we were out on the balcony, just literally UFO watching. We could see the planes, but then we did see lights that were like this, like 3 different colors like that were like moving weird. Like they weren't moving in the pattern of all the other aircraft.
Yeah, where it's like so that's the other thing is Occam's razor, right? What if they're not hiding? They're hiding in plain sight. Like all you have to do is make your plane, your alien shipcraft, look like a plane with some lights. You blend right in.
Yeah, no one will know.
I mean, like that's the other thing is like they don't necessarily have to have all these crazy cloaking devices if they just do the easiest and simplest thing, which is make it look like what we have.
Yeah.
And at that point, nobody thinks anything different.
You would think they would know a lot about how our eyes work, so they would know that our eyes can't perceive distance through darkness. So we see something moving this way, but it might be moving the other way.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? Like it looks like it's going one way, but it's not actually even going the way that you think it's moving.
Nope.
It's actually coming at you.
Yeah. No, that's why bats. This is another thing investigating that I will say is kind of fucking hilarious that we could just say for a second is like when you hear a bat flying around, the only thing you can do is fucking duck because who knows if it's coming at you or going away from you because all you hear is the flat flap and it's like, oh, fuck that. Not getting hit in the face with a bat today. Literally, though. I know you feel that, dog.
Yeah. Stimson. We had a
Literally. It's exactly what I thought, too.
In more recent years, residents have reported sightings of triangular crafts. These massive silent objects are often described as having three distinct lights at their corners connected by a faint outline. This is exactly what we've seen.
Yeah, literally. That's the crazy part, dude.
Yeah, that's exactly what we've seen.
So, next. This one's a little bit more recent. And this, honest to God, is actually really funny because I think this is around the time that me and you did see this, like a craft together. Is around 2017 would have been when around the time we did. And I think that honestly might actually attest to the fact that like maybe there are like they come in waves. Like people see them like in like a spurt, then you don't see them for a long time. You see them again because they came back for a while. I don't think they just come all the time. So one of the most well-documented cases occurred on a cold night in October of 2017. This does sound actually pretty accurate because I think we would have probably still been able to sit outside at your house at that point.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact date or anything like that when we had our incident.
It was
but
probably 2017, but I thought it was in the summer.
it might have been warmer out, but still, that is interesting. Because like I said, maybe it does have to do with like a time frame, more or less, still. But several residents reported seeing a massive triangular craft hovering above the trees just outside the city limits. The incident began around 9:30 p.m. when a local couple driving along County Road 550 noticed three bright lights arranged in a triangular formation. Initially, they assumed it was a low-flying plane, but as they pulled over to observe, they realized the object was completely silent and stationary. Exactly how we saw that. Silent and stationary, too.
Mm-hmm.
The couple described the craft as being the size of a football field, with the lights that cast an eerie glow on the surrounding forest. Other witnesses in the area, including a group of hikers near Sugarloaf Mountain, corroborated their account, describing the same massive silent object hovering low in the sky. One witness, a retired military pilot, noted that the craft's movements were unlike anything he had ever encountered. It was hovering without any visible propulsion system, he said. Planes don't just sit like that. And the way it moved when it left, it accelerated so quickly it was gone in seconds. No human technology I know of can do that. The craft reportedly hovered for several minutes before accelerating upward at an impossible speed, leaving no trace of its presence. Some residents also reported disruptions to their cell phones and other electronic devices during the sighting, adding an extra layer of mystery to the event. Interesting. So, in 2017, sightings is far from the only UFO encounter, though, in Marquette's history. Local folklore includes stories of glowing orbs appearing over Lake Superior, which some interpret as UFOs, while others attribute them to St. Elmo's fire or the atmospheric phenomena. However, the frequency and consistency of sightings suggests that some more mysterious may be at play. And then in the early 1980s, a group of college students in Northern Michigan University claimed to see a series of lights hovering above the Marquette Mountain ski area. The lights reportedly moved in synchronized patterns before splitting apart. Disappearing, witnesses described feeling a sense of dread during the sighting as they thought they were being watched. Because, what the fuck? You can go now.
What do we got going in the chat here? What's up, G bro? Thank you for joining us tonight. Have you ever heard like single pike organ notes? I was flying. Can you heard pipe organ notes? I have not. Interesting. I haven't. That's a new
Neither
one.
have I. Me too.
Pipe organ notes. Interesting. Another well-known sighting occurred in 2004 when several fishermen on Lake Superior reported seeing a metallic dish-shaped object hovering over the water near Garnet Island. The object reportedly emitted a faint hum and caused the water below it to ripple unnaturally. One fisherman described the craft as otherworldly, adding it didn't look like anything humans could make.
Interesting. It's also wild just to think, like, what if like the pipe organ sound actually is like an ethereal sound that like a craft could make too, like like just like a low faint hum, you know what I mean, like, and then it's taking off like kind of how Tommy saw, but his made no sound. Maybe they had the sound turned off, dog, and then they undampen that sound thing and it's just the frequency it does.
Interesting. Maybe over water, the sound acts different.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like sound amplifies things. Like if you skip like a stone and it's nothing around and it's a clear day, you'll hear that just every bounce.
I can picture it in my head right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, military activity. Some skeptics suggest that the sightings may be related to military testing. Of course they do.
Always do.
Marquette's proximity
Always
to
do.
several Air National Guard and Coast Guard facilities, as well as the vast wilderness of Michigan's Upper Peninsula, make it plausible location for experimental aircraft tests. However, this explanation fails to account for the silent, massive triangular craft and the extraordinary maneuvers reported by witnesses.
Also,
Put that
why
on for size.
why would they give it to the Coast Guard and National Guard? Okay, let's just be realistic with
They're
that
the
one.
least likely to be given secret stuff.
That's what I'm saying, dude. They don't give them the nukes. Nope. Like, no, that's unreasonable to even like plausibly think that that's even a possibility that they're getting experimental craft. I don't think so. Maybe cutting edge, but not experimental, like blacklisted, like this is coming from DARPA straight up. Nope. Sorry. No.
Other skeptics might say natural phenomenon. Other purposes that the sightings could be explained by natural phenomenon such as atmospheric reflections, ball lightning, or the aurora borealis.
I always say
North
ball
Michigan
lightning.
often experiences the aurora. It cannot account for solid structures, triangular shapes, and intelligent movements described in many reports. Extraterrestrial visitors, of course, the UFO researchers, Marquette's sightings are a clear indication of extraterrestrial activity. I think by now, with all of the cases we've talked about, we've pretty much declared the Great Lakes as being a UFO hub.
I would say so. And then we have one more category. I'm pretty sure this is the last category, right? I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
Which would be our resident cryptids. Cryptids? I don't even. It's cryptids. I'm dumb.
The cryptids of Lake Michigan, which, I mean, some people don't realize how deep some of these lakes are. Like Michigan has like 1,000-foot depth at one part of it. Superior even deeper at some points. Kind of crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's unfathomably deep, and like you literally can't go down that deep unless you want to die.
Right. No diver can dive that deep.
I mean, I can't. My ears hurt just thinking about going underwater that's like 12 feet deep. I'm not gonna lie. So we're gonna start with the Lake Erie Monster. The
Was it
legend
from-
of Bessie. It was from Bessie. That's who. Bessie got it.
Bessie did that to that ship.
Bessie did it. So the serene waters of Lake Erie hide a chilling mystery that has fascinated locals and visitors alike for centuries. Known as Bessie, the legendary lake monster is often described as a serpent-like creature, measuring between 30 and 40 feet in length. With its dark, smooth body and undulating movements, Bessie has been likened to famous aquatic cryptids, such as the Loch Ness Monster sightings of the enigmatic creature date back to the 18th century, making it a staple in Lake Erie folklore. So the first recorded sighting of Bessie dates back to 1793. Oh, the good old days. When French settlers along the shores of Lake Erie reported seeing a huge serpent swimming gracefully through the water. These early accounts described the creature as having a snake-like body, with humps rising above the surface, moving with rhythmic wave-like motion. In the 1800s, sightings became more frequent, and stories of Bessie began to spread among fishermen and sailors who worked the lake. Some reports claim that the creature had a head resembling a horse or a dog, while others noted its ability to disappear quickly beneath the surface and elude capture. One particularly dramatic encounter occurred in 1817 when a group of men near Sandusky, Ohio, claimed to have seen a massive, writhing creature struggling in the shallows. They described it as having a dark, scaly hide, estimated its length to be about over 40 feet. Despite their efforts to approach it, the creature reportedly slipped back into deeper water and vanished.
Thank you, G-Bro. Thank you for joining the night crew.
Hell yeah.
South Bend, Michigan, what's up? We stand strong.
So in recent years, sightings of Bessie have persisted with numerous reports from fishermen, boaters, and even casual beachgoers. The 1969 boater encounter. In one of the most well-known modern accounts, a group of boaters in 1969, reported seeing a long, undulating figure just beneath the surface of the water near Lorain, Ohio. The creature appeared to be following their boat, occasionally breaking the surface of the water with what looked like humps or ridges. Terrified, the group sped away, but not before capturing a blurry photograph that has since fueled debates among cryptozoologists. So then the 1990s fisherman reports. Throughout the 1990s, dozens of fishermen claimed to have encountered Bessie while working on the lake. These reports often described a serpent-like creature surfacing near fishing. Why can't I talk?
I don't
Fishing
know.
boats. Sometimes so close that the fishermen could see its dark, glistening body in detail. One account from the 1995 involved a man who was night fishing near Put-in Bay when he saw a large shadowy figure rise from the water only to submerge seconds later with a splash that rocked his small boat. All right, go ahead. You can take over from there.
Where are you? I was pulling images up. Sorry.
Number 3, you're good. Guten Tag.
Oh, you should see if you can find this.
I'll do my best, sir.
Okay. Well, Trevor looks for this footage. What's up, Tommy? How you doing, brother? Autocorrect.
Guten Tag.
Put in Bay as a party spot. Okay. All right. The drone footage of 2016. The 2016 drone operator capturing footage of Lake Erie shoreline near Cleveland recorded what some believe to be Bessie. The video shows a long, dark object moving smoothly through the water, leaving a wake behind it. While skeptics argue that the footage could show a large fish or floating debris, believers point to the object's size and deliberate motion as evidence of the elusive lake monster. Interesting. We'll try to find this for you guys.
There's not a good path to look, I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah. All right. If we find it, we'll post it on social medias.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot of digging to be able to find it. But
There's
I'm pretty sure we've
thumbnails
probably
of
seen it
boats.
before.
I know I have.
That's what I was just thinking. I was like, I'm pretty positive I've seen that video before. I just don't know where I've seen it before.
That's not so secret anymore.
Can't be secret if we don't spill the secrets.
Theories and speculations. The legend of Bessie has inspired numerous theories of what the creature might be. While skeptics often dismiss the sightings as misidentified animals or hoaxes, others argue that Lake Erie's vastness and depth could easily conceal a large unknown creature.
Oh,
Sturgeon or giant eels. Some researchers suggest that the sightings of Bessies may attribute to lake sturgeon, which can grow up to 7 feet in length and weigh over 300 pounds.
that's not 40 feet.
Yeah, that's not even close. These ancient fish have a prehistoric appearance with bony plates and long bodies that could be mistaken for a serpent. Others purpose that giant eels, rarely seen but known to inhabit the Great Lakes, could explain the creature's movements.
Indeligible. Got you, fam. No, even giant eels, like they're not big enough. Once again, I don't get it, dude. Like,
I don't know.
get it.
I think it's fun to believe that there could be a lake monster in the Great Lakes. I mean, hell, there's freaking aliens flying around. There's ghost ships. Like, what else? Why not give us like damn lake monster too? And just add it in there. Give us all the toppings.
I want it. So, cryptozoologists speculate that Bessie might be a relic population of prehistoric maritime reptiles, such as a plesiosaur or a mosasaurus, that somehow survived in the depths of Lake Erie. While mainstream scientists consider this highly unlikely, the idea remains popular among believers. I'm going to believe dinosaurs are real.
I mean, Lake Erie's water can't be that different than the loch, right?
I wouldn't think so. I mean, how much so could it be different? You know what I mean? Other than depths.
They're both giant bodies of fresh water.
So the next one is skeptics argue that Bessie is likely a product of folklore and human tendency to exaggerate. The point,
blah, blah, blah.
blah, blah, blah. They point to the long history of the lake monster and legends worldwide, suggesting that Bessie is simply a local variation of the universal theme. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Probably not. I'm just going to go ahead and say, like, no, this is truths. Oh, this is one that I've wanted to talk about for so long.
Yeah, I'll let you you can dive into this whole thing.
This one is fun. So
this one's near and dear to his heart.
Mishipeshu, the water panther of the Ojibwa legend. Like, this one's cool because it's literally a water panther. I love that. So the Mishipeshu, also known as the water panther, is one of the most revered and fearsome creatures in the Ojibwa mythology. A sacred being said to inhabit the depths of the Great Lakes and other large bodies of water. Depicted as a hybrid creature, the Mishipeshu combines features of a panther and a serpent, embodying power, mystery, and danger. Descriptions of the Mishipeshu vary slightly across tribes, but common elements include a sleek panther-like body covered in gleaming scales, sharp claws, and a serpentine tail that twists and undulates like waves. Its head is adorned with horns or antlers, and its piercing eyes are said to glow like embers. Some accounts describe the Mishipeshu as having the ability to shapeshift or camouflage itself in water, making it almost impossible to spot until it chooses to reveal itself. This creature is believed to be the guardian of water and all aquatic life, dwelling in the underwater caves and controlling the flow of rivers and lakes and even storms. To the Ojibwa and other indigenous groups of the Great Lakes region, the Mishipeshu represents a force of nature that demands respect and reverence. So, cultural significance. The Mishipeshu holds a profound significance in the Ojibwa spiritual practices and worldview, serving as both a protector and a warning. It is associated with the water's dual nature, life-giving and destructive. The creature often appears in legends, teachings, and sacred stories to remind humans of the responsibility to nature, and of the dangers of greed, arrogance, and disrespecting the natural world. So the protector of resources. The Mishipeshu is seen as a guardian of the Great Lakes and is a bountiful resources, including fish and fresh water. Fishermen, hunters, and travelers would often make offerings to the Mishipeshu, such as tobacco or small trinkets before venturing out onto the lakes. This act of respect was believed to ensure safe passage and good fortune. The punisher of greed. In many stories, the Mishipeshu appears as a warning to those who take more than they need or fail to honor the balance of nature. Greedy individuals who overfish, pollute the waters, or disrespect the environment are said to incur the Mishipeshu's wrath that could manifest as a sudden storm, overturned canoes, or even mysterious disappearances on the lake. It's also said to be a spiritual guide. The Mishipeshu is also considered a spiritual guide, especially for shamans and healers. Its power over water connects it to the flow of emotions, dreams, and intuition. Some spiritual leaders sought visions of the Mishipeshu to gain wisdom or insight, believing that encountering the water panther in a dream or vision was profound and a life-changing experience. So then there are some stories. I love that we're talking about mermaids in the chat. We were talking about mermaids earlier. It's funny. So the first story is the greedy trader. One famous Ojibwa story tells of a trader who ignored warnings about the Mishipeshu and took far more fish from the lake than he needed. As he battled back to shore with his overflowing canoe, the water began to churn violently. The Mishipeshu emerged, and from the depths, the trader's canoe capsized, and he was never seen again. The story is a cautionary tale about the greed and the importance of taking only what is necessary. So then there is a sacred island. Another legend speaks of a small island in Lake Superior that is said to be the home of the Mishipeshu. According to tradition, the island is forbidden to humans as it serves as the creature's sanctuary. Those who attempt to step foot on the island are said to be met with violent storms or disappear without a trace. And then there are the Dreamwalker's encounter. In one story, a young dreamwalker seeking guidance from the spirits oh my God, words are hard. From the spirits journeyed to the edge of the Great Lake. During his vision quest, he encountered the Mishipeshu, who spoke to him in a voice like rushing water. The creature shared knowledge and the, oh my God, interconnectedness of all life and warned of the dreamwalker to teach his people to respect the balance of nature. Upon waking, the dreamwalker became a revered shaman in his community, spreading the Mishipeshu's teachings.
I got this next section.
Okay, good, please. That's a lot.
Modern interpretations and sightings. The Mishipeshu continues to hold cultural significance for indigenous communities, and its image is often featured in traditional artwork, beadwork, and petroglyphs. Some of the most famous depictions of the Mishipeshu can be found in Agua Rock pictographs in Lake Superior, Principal Park, Ontario. These ancient rocks paintings created by the Ojibwe people depict the water panther alongside other spiritual symbols. Underscoring the importance of cosmology outside of indigenous culture, Mishipeshu has gained attention in cryptozoology and folklore circles. Some modern residents near the Great Lakes claim to have experienced strange phenomena such as unexplained whirlpools, eerie sounds, and even sightings of large serpentine creatures in the water, like Nessie, Bessie.
Bessie.
Whirlpools, eerie sounds, and sightings of large. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. So then There is the Mishipeshu's dual nature. So it embodies the complex relationship between humans and nature, simultaneously beautiful and dangerous, nurturing and destructive. As a symbol, it challenges us to consider our actions and their consequences, urging us to live in harmony with the natural world.
We will be live every Wednesday at 8. Yes.
Woo woo.
And we have a video coming out on Saturday at 8 with those dweebs at the Van Buren County Poorhouse. We have another video there that we did with Tommy Amongst the Tombstones, where we captured some of the craziest
Both
EVPs
these
ever
videos
recorded.
are so good.
Make sure you go check out his video there as well. But
And those dweebs channel, because we show love. We love the
in
love.
those dweebs channel, of course. But
There's some other bizarre phenomena. We'll just touch lightly on these, and then I think that'll be a good point to where we could probably wrap it up after that.
probably we're running 2 hours. That's probably going to be the normal standard, like we've always done on Wednesdays, y'all. Back to the 2 hours every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Different topics. We might have guests on from now and then, but
We just throw it at the dartboard.
we do. We just throw it at the dartboard. We're living life at the seat of our pants.
Basically, living our best lives. So one of these bizarre other phenomena would be the Marfa lights of the north. So the famous Marfa lights of Texas draw thousands of visitors each year. The Upper Peninsula of Michigan has its own version of the mysterious glowing orbs. Local visitors alike report seeing brilliant multicolored lights hovering over remote shores and dense forests. These lights appear suddenly, often during the evening or late night, move unpredictably, and then vanish without a trace. Like, would that be?
More lights, more aliens.
More aliens. The next one, though, is actually very interesting. So, the Great Lakes region is home to an array of enigmatic archaeological discoveries, hinting at an ancient civilization whose secrets remain shrouded in mystery. I didn't know this. I feel so uncultured.
This is a recent thing.
I am so uncultured, though, dog. I had no idea. So
I'm just gonna jump down to the one that's the most interesting. Underwater pyramids. In 2007, a team conducting sonar imaging in Lake Michigan near Traverse City discovered what appeared to be stone formations resembling Stonehenge. Look up, Trevor, pull up pictures of it. I'm pretty sure there's pictures of this.
I wouldn't doubt it.
The structures located about 40 feet underwater include large stacked stones in a circular arrangement. Theories about their origin. Some experts believe the formations may be remnants of an ancient glacial landform of a prehistoric ceremonial site, possibly dating back 10,000 years.
That's crazy.
To the era when Lake Michigan's water levels were much lower.
That's crazy.
Crazy, dude. Look at that.
That is actually crazy. Like, that definitely looks like some type of ritualistic, like, just like significance to me. If I've ever seen anything like that myself.
It gets crazier. The most controversial aspect of the site is a stone with carvings that resemble a mastodon, a prehistoric animal that went extinct around 10,000 years ago.
Oh, here it is. I found it.
That's
Dude.
Crazy.
If the implications there though are pretty vast because
right, because they found so Traverse City is not that far away from Grand Rapids, but they found a mastodon in Grand Rapids.
But think about that though. If they found that 10,000 years ago, that means that the mastodons didn't die out as quickly as I thought.
Pretty much, yeah. If genuine, this discovery suggests that the structure may have been created by humans who coexisted with mastodons, which we don't think happened.
Right. But it could have. Now that we see these, maybe it could have.
Debates and mystery. The discovery has sparked heated debates among archaeologists, cryptozoologists, and conspiracy theorists. While some argue the site proves the existence of a lost civilizations, which I think it does.
Yeah.
Others remain skeptical, attributing the formations to natural geological processes. crazy to think that. Look at how they're aligned. You're gonna say that's natural? That's
I know.
crazy.
I know. And then the last one that we had was like time slips and like the paradoxes where people will lose time when they're flying over Lake Michigan. We kind of covered that though with the triangle already. So we don't really have to touch on that too much harder, other than I really do think that there is some type of like energy source being emitted and that's causing it.
Regardless, as we went through all of this tonight, like it all feels interconnected.
It does, doesn't it?
Because of the lakes.
It's lakes. Yeah, it has to do with the water. It's always has to do with the water.
It does. It's something to do with the way the lakes are, their position on the earth, the mystery of what happened before they were lakes, because it was underwater in an ocean, and apparently people were living where the lakes are, and they were walking with mastodons.
And we're finding petroglyphs all over now. Like it's probably not just going to be like a little spatter here. It's probably going to be like floods of information are going to start coming forward about it. And it's like, man, dude, I am really interested to start looking into that more.
2007, that wasn't too long ago. Like,
no, not in like in archaeological terms. That's not that long ago. Not really. That's a very new discovery in terms of like
for it to be
things.
Possibly been there for over 10,000 years.
Yeah. Well, and then to be in such good condition as well, still, where it's like
because of the water, because it's cold, like preserve it good. Yeah.
But like, damn, dude, like that is insane to think that like we're gonna start discovering more of these like very old sites that have more significance than we could have ever imagined. And that's just like off the shores of our little Lake Michigan here.
Because like, as far as I know, we believe that the Great Lakes was a glacier. No one lived there. The glacier melted, formed the Great Lakes, and that's what we think. But if there was a civilization living where the lakes are, walking with mastodons, then it wasn't a glacier.
Pangea.
Right, because they would have had to bound that to the
some
earth.
type of land
So,
land structure.
They were not living inside underneath a glacier. Like that's not possible.
We need a documentary. See, all right, we need to make a documentary on this. We need to find out what's going on, why there's these structures.
We need to go there. We have a boat. 40 feet isn't too far under.
Nope, I'll dive down 40 feet, but I need some scoobies.
I'll tie you to a rope and pull you up when we'll time your oxygen. I'll pull you. All right. We're off the rails.
The rails came off real good. Choo choo.
But again, y'all, 6 years and we ain't done. This isn't a goodbye. This is a hello to new beginnings. And again, we can't thank you all enough for joining us for this celebration. I think it was a great celebration. We're going to continue the celebration on Saturday when we celebrate Trevor's birthday, and we watch The Poorhouse together during the premiere, which I think you guys will enjoy. Is on par with all of our other videos. I promise
it's super
you.
Good.
Awesome investigating. There's crazy evidence, and
those,
as you know, those dweebs, they bump. So make sure you head over to their channel, follow them, subscribe to them. They have a lot of great investigations with crazy evidence.
They've turned us on to a lot of locations too, dude. Like that's what I'm saying. Like you like what we got, check out what they got.
Great people, great investigators. And we love you all, Night Crew. Thank you again for all of your support. We look forward to hanging out with you guys every single Wednesday again. If you're new, like our boy,
check out Tommy too. That's what I'm saying.
Make sure
check
you
out
like
all
and
of the fam.
And with that being said, folks, remember, keep your ears and eyes open for what really goes.
Bump in the night.
Peace.
Love you guys. Best 6 years. 6 year tomorrow. Let's do it. Whoop whoop. 1,000 polar plunge.